The U.S. stockpile of munitions, particularly guided missiles, is running low, and the United States has started denying some applications from Eastern Europe because of that, explicitly because it was going to leave us without the weapons that we need. We're also going to be going over some issues over in Syria. We have a drone that was shot down. We're not just taking out blimps and balloons and child's toys over U.S. airspace, but now over Syria as well. Of course, we're still using very expensive missiles to take down these small aerial objects. Russia is calling the United States before the UN Security Council regarding the pipeline, and we're going to be getting into some of the numbers with the CPI, which is the inflation numbers that the U.S. government releases, and of course has tweaked this month. They have manipulated those numbers to make them just downright lies. We're going to jump into all that and a bit more as we go along. Before we get into that, this video is sponsored by Genesis Gold Group. If you have retirement funds that you don't like being in the stock market going up and down and you want that into something solid like gold, silver, platinum, coins that you own, you want to talk to Jonathan and his team over at Genesis Gold. You can find them down in the description down below, and they sponsor this channel. I do want to just throw out another sponsor of the channel, which is you guys. I want to thank you so much for you watching these videos and being a part of this, and just I was blown away by that on Saturday when I spur of the moment threw the intern in the car, and he and I went off to Asbury University to go see what was happening as it was breaking. You know, that this channel has the ability to go do those type of things, to respond to the natural disasters down in Florida, eastern Kentucky flooding, do disaster relief. Just you guys are part of something that is great, and we're having we had a great prayer meeting last night as well. Fueling accusations that the United States is getting dangerously depleted in its weapon systems and weapon stockpiles, the Army Tactical Missile System was requested by Eastern Europe, the country over there, and they're asking for this missile that can go in the HIMARS system that can shoot 190 miles. And the United States has rejected it and said that we cannot because it would harm U.S. military readiness. So this is from 4 different sources within the U.S. government that has confirmed that this is what was stated. So the United States might be willing to give this missile system to them, but we don't have enough of those missiles in stockpile for our own use. And so we're starting to see that the conversation is turning into whether or not the United States will give the green light to potentially have these missile systems purchased from countries who we've already sold it to, like Romania, Poland, Greece, Turkey, Korea, and some countries in the Middle East that we really will probably regret at some point giving all these weapon systems to. You know, they're our friends today, but tomorrow, you don't know. It has been stated that these long-range missiles have been threatened by Bear Country, that this will make us party to the conflict, that by giving certain systems that this is tantamount to war, because those will be used against cities inside their home country, and maybe we're not really low on stockpiles. Maybe it's just an issue of we not wanting to give these systems to Eastern Europe in order to get dragged into this conflict. On another note, U.S. forces in Syria shot down a cheap, unarmed Iranian drone, of course, with a super expensive missile. We're firing $500,000 to several $1 million missiles at these, you know, $20,000 or cheaper drones. And that is a little bit concerning from a budgeting perspective. It's kind of one of those things that we're losing even though we're winning. But you know, of course, the Syrians wanted to try to fly a drone over their own territory, over an oil and gas site that the United States military is still occupying because, you know, ISIS and stuff. Even though there's no ISIS left, I mean, we still have to hold the oil and gas because we have to just prove the stereotype completely true, that we only went to the Middle East because of oil and gas. Because of oil and gas, U.S. troops are still there. and they fired a very expensive missile that hopefully was paid for by some of that oil and gas money, but we all know that all that oil and gas money is really just going to pay off people overseas and into U.S. black ops overseas. Anyway, so like I said, on February 22nd, there will be a UN Security Council meeting, and the United States will be on the hot seat. As alleged by the journalist Hirsch, that with his contacts, that it was definitely an operation between the CIA and the U.S. Navy to sabotage and attack some of those pipelines there. And the United States basically hasn't said anything other than, oh, well, it's just all fabricated. It's all just lies. Even though all the receipts were kind of put out there, times, dates, exercises, and which kind of assets were used and how it all worked. All that was leaked out, and it seems awfully specific in order to be a fabrication. And the United States government hasn't replied to any of these accusations other than to say, it's all lies, it's crazy. It's all crazy talk. Russia and China have said that the United States needs to give an account and needs to give a proper response to these accusations, as they are very, very serious, as this pipeline belongs to Bear Country. It is basically an act of war. It has just been pointed out, and it has been mentioned by other people, I'm sure, but just want to point out, I was not aware of that at this point, that Norfolk Southern, which is the train business, the freight business that owns the railroad that derailed over in East Palestine, of course, is owned. Their biggest shareholder is BlackRock. Of course, you guys all start picking up your ears when you hear that name too. They seem to be behind every nefarious thing that seems to be going on out there. Want to throw that out there for you too. CPI. So we just had the CPI come out, and we were told that it went up month over month. Inflation went up 0.5% in 1 month, of course. So annualize that out, and you're talking about 6% inflation rate. However, as I previously warned you, that the CPI number was going to be adjusted. The formula for how they calculate was going to be adjusted. So everyone's there like, it's only gone up 0.5% over the past month. Well, let's take the numbers, crunch them into the old formula, and we come up with 0.8%. So now that's 60% higher. If you needed a little help with that, you're getting your calculator out, you don't have to do that. 60% higher than what we're being told. Does that sound like it's even in the ballpark honest? It doesn't. If we were to annualize that out, take that 1 month and stretch it out to a year, basically over the past month, we've had 9.6% inflation using the corrupt, weird, totally rigged numbers that the U.S. government uses, or used. Now they have even more gamed and more corrupt number systems to get even a lower rate. But if we were to use what they used to use back in the 1970s, you would be looking at over 15% inflation rate right now. So what is the true inflation rate? Well, it's whatever you want it to be. That's basically the message of the government, and the government wants it to be low. So we could try to bring it down, or we could just lie to everybody and gaslight everybody. And that seems to be the situation at hand again. You already knew this. You go to the grocery store, you see the numbers, you see what's going on out there. You've seen your energy bills. Who here has got an electric bill that's a little bit more, or a gas bill, or all the other bills have gone up, haven't they? What's gone down? And the answer is nada. Nothing. Nothing's gone down. Everything keeps going up, and it's going up a heck of a lot faster than 6%. Seriously, over the course of the year. Who do they think we are? Do they think that we're absolutely stupid? Yes, they do. But for those of us who can read the numbers and hold the government a little bit accountable, we know that they're lying because their lips are moving. All right, folks, if you found this video useful, helpful, you might want to check out this other video right here. I'll see you over there, or I'll see you later. Steve Poplar out.